What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we are back with another Hot Toys unboxing, and today we have a very special video for you guys. Today we are taking a look at the Batmobile from the movie Batman, made in 1989, played by the great Michael Keaton. This is my first ever Batmobile of any kind, and guys, I cannot tell you how shocked I am as far as how big this box is. This box is huge. As you guys can see, for the first time ever, I'm having to stand in front of the camera because I was not able to fit in behind, and it took me pretty much a good hour for me to get the camera ready. So very excited to see this Batmobile because my god, this box is huge. So guys, let's go ahead and get started. I did want to go ahead and make this unboxing as natural as I possibly can be, so let's go ahead and take a look at the box. So pretty much we have the Batmobile logo at the bottom. Pretty much we have this green tape that's covered around the box and the Batman logo at the top. So as you guys can see, I already took off the tape, right? I kind of wanted to give a little peek in just to see what I'm getting myself into, but I have not taken a look at the actual Batmobile yet. I want my reaction to be as natural as possible. So let's go ahead and get started, right? Pretty much this box does have a lot of cardboard, which is great. I want the accessory to be as protected as possible. Thankfully, the delivery to my house was pretty much safe. Nothing was thrown off or anything, so I'm glad to know that. I know that the Batmobile should be protected. As you guys can see, we have pretty much a wallpaper kind of poster of the Batmobile along with the movie logo Batman on the left corner. I love this wallpaper. It looks absolutely awesome, and to me it is a great start as far as the cover of the actual accessory itself. So let's go ahead and remove that. If you guys can see right there, the smoke and the lighting looks absolutely awesome. I'm hoping the actual Batmobile looks like that once I do go ahead and get it unboxed. And just an FYI, the cardboard box is pretty much the main box, so we don't, like for example with figures, we get like the cardboard box and then we get the actual figure box. Not in this case. The actual box of the delivery is the actual box for the accessory. So as you guys can see, we pretty much have dried snow right there. We have this kind of tape type of belt that's surrounded on the left and right side. We have pretty much a Batmobile kind of poster right there. I would assume that has a lot of instructions, and then we guys can see the accessories, right? So now, right, we have pretty much removed the cardboard box. We have just the dried snow covering the actual Batmobile. So let's go ahead and remove each piece just to kind of talk about it. So as I mentioned before, right, and I was correct, so pretty much that kind of poster, the Batmobile does have all of the instructions on the back. So obviously I will be taking a look into that off camera, so that way I'm ready and I know what I'm getting myself into, and I know what to look at. So we have pretty much accessories for the Batmobile. So let me go ahead and take the cover off so that way you guys can see it. For now, I really don't know what these accessories are supposed to represent. Again, as I mentioned before, this is my first ever Batmobile, but as you guys can see, and again, my apologies if the imagery is not very clear since I am not behind my camera. I can't really see what I'm recording, but you guys can see it. We have the batarangs and some accessories that I would assume go inside the Batmobile, and once I read the instructions, I'll be able to describe these details more these accessories more in detail. So we have that going on for now, right? I cannot wait to go ahead and test these out. They look pretty nice, right? I do see a piece that I would assume is supposed to help us with magnetic pieces for the Batmobile. So that would be the first piece of accessory that's outside the actual box, right? Next thing that we're gonna go ahead and take a look at would be this disc. I want to assume that this is gonna be possibly for the display base, right? Not display base, right, but kind of the base underneath the Batmobile. So for example, I don't have a lot of space here in my room, right, to display this big Batmobile. So I feel like this is going to be very helpful for me to to display it maybe on top of my display cases. That's something that I still have to get to figure out, right? But they're pretty much a circular kind of type of base. So I would assume it is for the Batmobile, and it's supposed to go underneath. But as I mentioned before, off camera, I will take a look at the instructions, right? And I'll be able to pretty much figure out what each piece and what each accessory is supposed to do, right? I'll try to be as informative as I possibly can be for this for this unboxing, right? But just know that those are the pieces that it comes with. And then last but not least, it comes with these 4 pieces. Again, as I mentioned before, not really sure what they're for. Once I take a look at the instructions, I'll be able to tell better. Right now I'm trying to do the unboxing as natural as I possibly can be, but I do want to take each part off. So as you guys can see, it is pretty much colored in black. So because they're colored black, I would assume that these pieces will go outside of the Batmobile, maybe to the sides, right, or maybe at the top, right? We'll see, right? Again, I really have no idea, and I apologize because at the beginning of the video I have no idea what I'm looking at. But again, once I take a look at the instructions, right, I'll be able to tell better, and that way we can put each piece where it belongs. So this right here, it kind of has a railing, so I would assume it goes possibly at the top of the Batmobile. We'll see once we do actually get the accessory out of the box. So pretty much those are all of the accessories that come on top of the Batmobile dried snow cover. So let's go ahead and remove these sticky belts that are onto the sides. Thankfully they have these, so that pretty much makes me, tells me that the Batmobile is pretty much very protected. And as you guys can see, they're pretty easy to remove. So let me just go ahead and remove these belts so that way we can take a look at for the first time at our Batmobile. So we have that out. Let's go ahead and remove the top cover. And oh wow, so oh my goodness, so this is bigger than I expected. So first impressions, honestly, it looks absolutely awesome. I cannot believe how big the Batmobile is. It looks great. The coloring is absolutely awesome. It looks exactly as it is in the movie. My god, I cannot believe how big this Batmobile is. It just looks awesome. I am overwhelmed by the size of this Batmobile. I did not expect it to be this big, and I have no freaking idea where am I supposed to display this in my room, right? I guess I'll find a way. I mean, these type of accessories are worth making space for, but my god, it looks absolutely awesome. So pretty much the way that we're gonna go ahead and do this, guys, is that we are gonna go ahead and display the Batmobile. We're going to take the Batmobile out of the snow cover, and we're going to be taking a look at each side individually just to kind of figure out where the accessories goes, what each part does, where the batteries go for the LED lights and things like that. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and do the full review from side to side. Okay, guys, so now we have the Batmobile outside of the foam cover. So as I mentioned before, right, we're pretty much going to review every single side from top to the sides to the back to the front, right? I'll try to be as detailed as I possibly can be, and I apologize if I do miss any details. Again, this is my first time ever doing a Batmobile, figure, right, or accessories. So definitely overwhelmed by the size of it, but my god, I'm just surprised how legit it is. I mean, it even has gas tanks to pump gas, and it just looks so legit, right? So we have it out. So now let's go ahead and get started with the side, so that way we can take a look at all of the accessories and everything that it comes with. Okay, guys, so we are on the left side of the Batmobile. So as you guys can see, first let's start with the tires / wheels. My god, the detailing on these things, man, looks absolutely awesome. They feel like real tires, and obviously we have like a Batman kind of Batarang type of logo right there on the middle of the tire. The feel of it is absolutely awesome. It looks soft, and I love the kind of dirty type of look to the tire, right? I mean, it's supposed to look that way, obviously, with all the battling and things like that. I mean, it's completely understandable. So right here, as you guys can see, we have different holes and different pieces, and I would assume that the accessories are going to go there. So I did take a look now at the instructions, so now I'm kind of pretty much familiar on where each accessory is supposed to go, right? So we're gonna go ahead and start right here at the top, right? So this piece right here is supposed to pretty much be kind of like a magnet, so that way we can open doors, close doors, and pretty much attach things that are magnetic. So for example, if I put it right here on the magnetic door, it opens it for me, right? And now right there is where the bat discs are gonna go. So we have 8 different bat discs, right? So right now we're gonna go ahead and put 2, since that is the option that it gives me, and pretty much we can just go ahead and put each one in each hole, right, to pretty much again just display it that way, and then we can just go ahead and close the door, right? And if we want to remove it, we can go ahead and put that magnetic piece again. Here at the bottom is where the shim breaker is supposed to go, right? So we saw those at the beginning of the unboxing whenever we were doing the display. So we have this little plaque right here that does go in there. So you guys have 2 options. Either you can put this like as a little door to close that hole out, right? So you see right there, right? We can go ahead and do that option, and then we can go ahead and get our magnet again, remove that little door, and then we can go ahead and put the chin breaker, right? So again, those are the two options that you guys have for the Batmobile, right? Depending on how you guys want to go ahead and display it. So this would be the chin breaker, right? So the good thing is that each chin breaker does have either the letter L for left or R for right. This is obviously on the left side, as I mentioned before. We're pretty much going to go ahead and insert it there, and that's pretty much how it goes, right? So I did want to go ahead and get the camera closer, at least to the bottom, just so that you guys can see how long the chin breaker is and how far it goes, and that's pretty much all the way that it goes, right? So that's how it's supposed to go. And again, as I mentioned before, right, you guys have those two options depending on how you guys want to go ahead and display the Batmobile. So let's go ahead and get the camera closer so that we can take a look at extra accessories that come with the Batmobile. So we have the Batarang, right, or the yes, if I'm not mistaken, the Batarang, right? We're pretty much gonna go ahead and, I'm sorry, no, my apologies, no, the back claw, my apologies. So the back claw, pretty much it opens up. It kind of reminds me of like Doc Ock's mechanical arm. You guys are supposed to open kind of like the wings or whatever you guys want to call it out, and right there is where it goes. So we're gonna go ahead and pretty much open up that kind of tab, right, that covers the hole, and we insert it there. The only thing that I don't like is that the bat claw isn't longer, right? I wish it was longer, but that's as good as it gets. But that's pretty much where it would go, as I mentioned before. Just gives us another option to display the Batmobile pretty much in battle kind of action type of mode. So just different options that you guys have. So that would be pretty much the left side of the Batmobile. Now we get to the top, right? So pretty much at the top we have pretty much these two holes right here, one on each side, where we have two different options. So we can either display these kind of rifles, I guess, if I can mention, or kind of gun tanks that you guys can pretty much pull out to the very top. I do want to be careful with these because I'm afraid they might break if I pull like that a little bit too hard. So just know that we have the option of either pulling both of the kind of war tanks or gun tanks, right? Pretty much pose them that way to again display the Batmobile in battle action. And if you guys don't want to do that, then we have the two little doors that we saw at the beginning of the video that we can go ahead and put on here to cover up. So the ones that have kind of that kind of air venting kind of opening, those are the ones that we're going to go ahead and put here. So let me go ahead and grab them so that way we can go ahead and put them and cover up, right? So as you guys can see, these things, same thing, and it has the letter either R or L for each side. And the good thing is also that it has a magnet, it's magnetic, so pretty much it attaches well. So one on each side, like I mentioned before. And again, it has the railing, right, to pretty much just kind of show how legit the Batmobile is. So one on each side. This would be one way of displaying it, or the other way would be if you guys want to go ahead and display it with the guns pretty much outside. And once again, this magnet right here, which is very, very helpful, so I recommend you guys not to lose it, so that way we can go ahead and remove the railing and go back to the other option, which is pretty much the fight mode with the, you know, with the guns and all that. So that would be pretty much the top kind of front part of the Batmobile, right, where we pretty much have that battle option, or pretty much the normal version with the railing. So this would be the top the top front part of the Batmobile. Okay, next guys, we are at the back, so it's time to take a look at the LED lights for this Batmobile. First of all, screw Hot Toys for not including batteries with this thing, man. That is the only complaint that I have about this Batmobile, the fact that they didn't include any type of batteries. I had to get my own, right? Thankfully I have some rechargeable batteries from me playing video games, so I can use those for right now. But just to take a look at the back of the Batmobile, man, it looks so awesome and so legit, right? Obviously I don't know the Batmobile from the movie in full detail, but just like on images and videos that I've seen, my god, it just looks absolutely amazing. So we're pretty much going to remove this kind of tab right here on the back, and that's where the batteries right there inside are going to go. Now you guys aren't able to see it because of my camera, but just know that it has an on and off switch, which we just turned on right now, and again where the batteries go. So let me go ahead and turn off my lights so that way you guys can see how bright those lights are. Now to me in person they look pretty bright. My camera might not show that, but those are the two light up functions. So on the right and left side, and then right there in the middle, right, where pretty much all of the gas or smoke is supposed to be released, right? So to me, it looks really, really good. I really can't ask for more, right? I mean, I think the lighting up is pretty good, but again, as I mentioned before, that's just me in person. Maybe you guys watching this video on camera might not think that, right? So but either way, to me, it looks good. Now, that is not the only light up function, right? We do have some in the front and also inside the Batmobile, and I will go ahead and show you guys a little bit later, but for now, this would be the backside with the LED lights turned on. Okay, now next we're in the front. So with the front, we have the two lights right there at the bottom left and bottom right, which is pretty much kind of expected, right? Again, this is a vehicle, right? So you know, it's kind of a pretty obvious thing to have. Again, as I mentioned, with the backside, the lighting to me is really, really good. In person, not sure if you guys think the same watching the video. Let me know in the comments if you guys don't mind. So let me go ahead and turn on the lights so that way you guys can take a look at the very front part of the Batmobile in detail. Again, as I mentioned before, pretty much everything is exactly the same. I really can't think of a detail that's missing. You guys who are better at this than I am, please let me know if there's something that I'm missing with this Batmobile. I do want to get the camera closer so that way you guys can see how detailed and how great the paint applications are to this thing. I mean, it just looks so freaking awesome, right? And so nicely detailed. I've always been a big fan of the Batmobile from the 1989 movie The Batman, and to me this looks absolutely amazing. The detailing, the paint application. So this would be pretty much the front part of the Batmobile. The second part of the LED lights. The next part would be inside the Batmobile. Okay, so now I wanted to show you guys how we can remove the, I guess, if I can mention it, the window, door, whatever you guys want to call it. So pretty much what you guys have to do is pretty much press with your two fingers this front part right here, lift the top, I guess the top of the railing, whatever you guys want to call it, and then we're just supposed to slide it off, right? And right there is where you guys can see the inside of the Batmobile, which is pretty much the seats, all the light up functions, and you know, pretty much everything that a vehicle is supposed to come with, right? And then you guys have the option of closing it, opening it. Now it does come with a little stick that is supposed to kind of hold the door from closing. Right now, to me, I don't think it's needed, but I guess we can install it just to kind of show, because that's supposed to be the way that it's displayed in the actual movie, right? So there is a hole right there at the bottom, and if I can just go ahead and install it there, and then that other part, the hook, is supposed to be attached to something in the front. So see, there you guys have it. So that would be pretty much the way that it's supposed to be attached, right? And again, it's just supposed to show, I guess how legit the Batmobile is. Again, to me, it's not needed to hold the door, but if you guys want to go ahead and just display it that way, so that way it's shown as it is in the movie, right? So that would pretty much be my demonstration of how to leave that door open. It is totally up to you guys. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we can remove the whole door off, but I don't want to try to break it, right? I'd rather just leave it this way and just kind of show you guys how it's supposed to open, and know that we can see the inside of the Batmobile. Okay, so for this part, I did not want to have my camera stick display base. I have the camera on my hand, and I just wanted to show you guys how great and how detailed it looks from the inside. The seats, all the light up functions, all of the different kind of functions that the Batmobile is supposed to have. So speed thingy and the gas tank and all those things. And I would assume that all the weaponry that the Batman uses, right? All his guns, batarangs, and things like that, right? By the way, my apologies if the camera gets a little bit blurry, because there's so many things. It kind of wants to get the attention of other things and not the things that I wanted to get, but it is so detailed, right? And now that I'm turning off my light, I mean, just look at how great the light up function looks. It looks absolutely amazing. I can't tell you guys how great this looks. But again, to me, I gotta give Hot Toys a lot of props, right? They went out of their way to pretty much show every single detail from the Batmobile, right? By the way, if you guys are asking yourself if we can actually put the Batman figure here, yes, we definitely can. Now, I could do one of my other Batmans, but no, I am not gonna do the service to this Batmobile. I will wait until I get my Michael Keaton Batman, which I would assume should be arriving soon, right? And we'll definitely go ahead and display him with the Batmobile, show you guys how he's supposed to be inserted. So yes, he definitely goes in there, but this would pretty much be the inside part of the Batmobile. To me, it just looks absolutely awesome and very highly detailed. Okay, so now the last thing that I wanted to show you guys is the bottom of the Batmobile. So I was correct. Pretty much this big disc is supposed to cover that part right there of the Batmobile. And pretty much, as you guys can see, the shape of it is exactly the same. So it should be a pretty easy process. So we're just going to go ahead and pretty much put pressure on it so that way it closes. And that would pretty much be one way that we can display the Batmobile, right, with that closing. So that way it doesn't have that kind of hole remaining, right? Now, the second way we can go ahead and display it is with the other kind of cylinder type of base. Now, to me, that's the way I'm going to display it, because since I don't have, again, as I mentioned before, I don't have a lot of space here in my bedroom. Well, I have no choice, right? I have to put this thing on so that way we can display the Batmobile and kind of leave space for my other figures and accessories and things like that. So we first insert the cylinder right here onto the disc, and then we're just gonna go ahead and insert it on to the actual Batmobile at the bottom. Just make sure you apply pressure, and then once it's installed, then you guys can just go ahead and turn it. The good thing is that it is rotatable, so pretty much you guys can flip the Batmobile, display in different ways. If you guys want to take images of it, which I will do after the video is over, and as you guys can see, it leaves enough space for me to be able to flip the vehicle without hitting it, you know, in any way, shape, or form at the bottom. Obviously, you guys just want to you know, be careful with the sides because of how long the Batmobile is, right? But that would be pretty much how the display base or the diorama base goes installed onto the Batmobile. To me, I love this idea. Again, it helps me because that's the way I'm going to display it once I'm done recording the video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the video. So another great thing about the Batmobile, because of the display stand, I'm able to display it right here on my turntable, so that way you guys can see the Batmobile in its totality. Guys, I cannot tell you how great this thing is. I am completely overwhelmed as far as how big it is, how highly detailed it is. Now, maybe you guys who have been collectors at, you know, for a longer time might not be too impressed with this. For me, I'm just, you know, letting nostalgia get the best of me, because this is my first ever Batmobile, and just because how I'm impressed how big it is and how highly detailed it is. But maybe in the future, once I collect maybe other vehicles, maybe my opinions might change on this. But for now, for it to be my first ever vehicle, I am as happy as I possibly can be. If I'm not mistaken, I think the company Jazz Inc., if I'm not mistaken, they also did a Batmobile. So let me know, guys, which Batmobile you guys think is better, right? I'll try to take a look at some of the images of that other Batmobile by Jazz Inc. just to see which one is better. But again, for this to be my first ever Batmobile, I am highly impressed, very happy, right? And I cannot wait to get my Michael Keaton Batman, so that way we can display it with this Batmobile. I do want to apologize, guys. I feel like there were some things that I could have done better with this recording, but again, I hope you guys understand, because of my lack of space in here in my bedroom, because of my lights, my camera not being the best, right? There were some things that weren't as natural, as good as I would have wanted them to be. But bear with me. Again, this is my first ever Batmobile. My goal here is for eventually to, you know, expand my room, expand my collection, right, and be able to do these type of unboxings at a better quality, right, and for it to be displayed in a better way, right? But I would say, in my honest opinion, for it to be my first ever unboxing of a big accessory like this, I thought we did good, right? Let me know if there are things that I missed, right? And if there are things that I did not say consistently. I hope that I was able to cover every single detail of the Batmobile, right? I know we didn't cover the right side, but the only reason I didn't do it is because we did the left side, and it's pretty much exactly the same. It works exactly the same, so I hope you guys don't mind. Again, as I mentioned before, let me know in the comments what is something that I missed, and at the same time, let me know what you guys think about this Batmobile. If you guys are interested in possibly buying this Batmobile, which is pretty expensive, it cost me $720, right? But if you guys are interested, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles. Right now the accessory is on a wait list, so you guys would have to join a wait list. But if you guys are looking for a Batmobile, there is no possible way you guys can go with this. This to me is absolutely awesome. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for the support, right? This is again my first ever Batmobile unboxing. You guys are very, very supportive, so I want to thank you always for supporting the channel and for supporting me on my videos. If this is the first time that you are watching me, first and foremost, welcome to my channel and my account. Just know that unboxings like this is something that we do on a pretty much a normal basis, right? As well as figure previews and things like that. Any type of Hot Toys content, I try to to display it as much as I possibly can. I will post images of the Batmobile on my Instagram and on my TikTok, so make sure to follow me there so that way you're always updated on those images. The links to that are on the description of the video. So guys, this will be it for this Batmobile unboxing and review. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.